Hey guys, so today there are quite a few things that I'd like to show you when it comes to do with plants that I am quite excited about. So let's get started with these mango trees real quick. So this mango tree is doing really quite well. It has this leaf and the leaf slowly lifting up, which is really good, but it needs to be sending off other leaves, which is the issue, and it also has this other one coming up. But again, it's not exactly sending off leaves, which is an issue, but it's surviving and it's living and it's really cool looking, so that's awesome. This one has not put out any leaves recently whatsoever, and I've had a bag around this. That's why I have this little trough, can't think of the name, but a little thing here is I had a bag over it, so then it was more of a terrarium type of thing, higher humidity. I thought that would help with it producing leaves, but it hasn't put out any, so I took that off, and hopefully these will start putting out leaves. And then right here I have a English ivy plant growing, which I just took a cutting off a plant that was outside. And as you can see, there's a few different areas that it's putting out new leaves, which is exciting. But again, I kind of put those out when it had the bag on it, so since I took the bag off, it might hurt that one, maybe help the mango, we're gonna see. But I know that this one has leaves, or not leaves, roots, because I actually put it into a baggie for a while with just like wet paper towel wrapped around it, and that's when it grew roots, and then I planted it and it started doing that as well. Then I planted it in here and it started doing well. So now I'm going to be showing you my two big hibiscus plants, which I haven't really shown you, and one of them's flowering, which is really exciting. So we've recently brought in the two hibiscus plants that we got from somebody who wanted to get rid of them, and as you can see, this is a nice huge hibiscus plant, and it is flowering in two places right now. So I'll be feeding those to my iguana, because that's kind of why I really wanted a hibiscus plant, is because they produce these flowers that are edible, and I think the leaves as well are edible to green iguanas, which is really exciting. So we have them down here in my living room. We have one right here, which is the bigger one, and then we have one right here as well, which is a smaller one, but they're both quite large. And then during the summer, we have them out on our porch, or we'll put them back on our porch once the summer returns here in Ohio. So now I'm going to bring you to my room, show you some cool things there. So here are some more English ivy plants, and what's kind of cool about this is I have two that I just recently put in this water. It's just cut off water bottle filled with water, but I have this one that I've had in for longer, and as you can see, it's putting out 3 new parts. So I've successfully propagated it. Only problem is it actually hasn't put out any roots yet, but it is getting water from the water, and that is pretty exciting. Now I'm going to show you some other plants that I have propagated. So here's something that's pretty cool. I have these two cuttings of, what is this? Blackberries. And I have them sitting in my filter, but they actually were sitting in that cup with the English ivy. And they haven't grown roots just like the English ivy, but as you can see, there's new growth on this one, and a lot of new growth on this one as well. And I realized that they were growing like that, and I decided to put them in my fish tank filter instead of being in that cup. So hopefully they'll get more nutrients, and hopefully they will start growing roots. But I'm sure they will, because I am propagating, ignore all those beautiful plants there, I am also propagating some in a different fashion, which I learned when I was researching propagating fig plants. So as you can see, the ones that we tried to propagate this route lost all their leaves, and I still have hope, but I doubt that these will actually produce anything. But then I have these two cuttings here of, like I said, fig, and again, wasn't really a super bit expecting anything, but as you can see, there are some buds here that look like they're going to start producing leaves. And look at that, there is a root on the fig. So very exciting. So hopefully these produce more roots, and then I can plant them and get nice big fig trees. But here's what's really cool. Look at all these cuttings of, what are these? Blackberries. So I did them the same way. Again, I learned this from a YouTube video on fig trees, and then I did the same system on here, and no roots are growing in the water, but what is happening is all these places where the leaves were are producing new leaves. And as you can see right there, roots, so many roots on 2 different plants actually. There is just a bunch of roots coming off right with the leaves as well. So hopefully the leaves will grow up, and then I can plant the cuttings eventually and then grow these bushes in my room, I guess. I don't really have any reason to grow them, but I also don't really have any reason not to grow more plants, because I'm really liking plants right now. So I guess it's just the humidity in here. The bag is open at the top because that's what the person said to do, but it's closed most of it. And I guess it's just the humidity in here where all the roots are coming from. So that is very, very exciting for me. And those should grow into pretty cool plants. The raspberry that I brought in did not make it at all. But those are very different plants than blackberries I've found. Blackberries, normally there's just one plant, and it just produces a bunch of different random vines. And then a raspberry is more of like a bush, and it just grows up a ton of different shoots. And then kind of becomes more of a bushy type of appearance. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you were wondering why I have egg crate, that's for my dubia roaches. So once the ones in their enclosure go bad, then I'll replace them with these. So that's why I have egg crate aligned on my wall. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like down below. If you have any comments or concerns, put in the comments below. And if for more content, then subscribe. Have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in that next video.